fun. What's your name, department, and how many years at UNC?
Hi, my name is Dean Blackburn, and I work with student wellness, and I've been on campus for 28 years.
Oh, that's amazing. Where do you call home?
I grew up in Durham, but I live in Chapel Hill. I have for the last 28 years.
Nice. Were you a first-generation undergrad or graduate student?
Both. I was both the first generation and the only still for undergrad and grad school.
Oh, that's amazing. What was your major in college?
I majored in undergrad in social work and psychology, and in grad school, I majored in counseling and theology.
And what was the most challenging part of your college experience?
I think as a first-generation college student, I didn't have a mentor or a sense of what it was like to come to college. And so I was really learning as I went. And because I came from an underperforming high school where I didn't really need to study very hard, the transition was quite challenging.
And if you could go back in time, what advice would you give your college self?
I would say sleep more, eat better, study more, access resources that are there to help me, and maybe not socialize as much.
Describe, how did you get into student affairs?
I love this question because really by happenstance, because I struggled my first semester, I had a chance to meet with one of the staff at my college. Fama Mullins was her name. I still remember it so many years later. And I had a crisis of confidence and I wasn't sure if college was right for me. And we had a wonderful conversation and she just encouraged me to come back that second semester, give it another try. And I did, and that made a huge difference, and my trajectory was up from there, and I never forgot what that help meant. And so when I had a chance to enter higher ed and work, it felt like just a perfect way of giving back.
What exactly brought you to UNC-Chapel Hill?
Another great question. So I did my grad work at Duke, and for a lot of folks, they're like, Duke, but what was wonderful about that is my employer there, because I worked part-time for Res Life there and the Dean of Students office, he knew the director of housing and Res Life here, and as I was graduating, he made a connection for us, and we had lunch, and that person said, why don't you come work with us? And I sort of stumbled into it, which has been true about most of my life and career, just being in the right place and happenstance and opportunity.
What's the biggest misconception about student wellness?
That's another great question. I think the biggest misconception about student wellness is what do we do and provide? Many students, particularly many newer students, get us confused with campus health that does physical medical services, or CAPS, our counseling center that does clinical work, sometimes even campus rec that does a little more activity work. We are the health education and health promotion, really skill building office on campus to help students sort of live their healthiest lives, make choices that are in their best interest, and ultimately be a successful student at Carolina.
What makes student wellness so unique?
I think what makes us unique is that we really are in that space that is non-clinical, educational, supportive, nurturing, and can meet students where they are. And so we get a chance to build some amazing and wonderful relationships with students all across campus, graduate and professional students, undergrad students, new first-year students, transfer students, athletes, fraternity and sorority students, other student groups, cultural identity groups. We love the ability to just sort of be around campus in different spaces, often in the space students live or work or do their learning, to sort of support them and share the information that we bring.
What's the most interesting thing you've learned in your role?
I think the most interesting thing I've learned is really how amazingly resilient, smart, and creative Carolina students are. It has really been a joy and a gift of a lifetime to have worked here so long and seen so many generations of students. And the consistent thing always is how bright, how creative, how engaged, how committed, and how resilient they are. I think it allows me to live vicarious in ways that keep me younger and sharper and full of hope, which is real important.
Okay, finish a sentence. If I didn't work in student affairs, I would.
If I didn't work in student affairs, I would probably still want to work in student affairs. I think by my nature, I am a difference maker and a helper and a connector. And those three things are completely met in this environment where I can be supportive for students. I can be a mentor, an encourager, an advisor, a little C counselor, an educator. I can't imagine another place where all of that comes together with such beauty as it does here.
What's your favorite spot on campus?
I have lots of favorite spots. I love Polk Place in the middle of the day when it is a buzz with student life. It's really energizing to walk through, really kind of from the pit up through Polk Place. For a more peaceful place, I really love the Arboretum. Sometimes I will take lunch and walk through there and just sit for a minute, and that's a really great space as well.
What's your favorite memory from your time at Carolina?
I think some of my favorite memories here have been bookends. It is Fall Fest and seeing the energy of new students and the excitement of being at Carolina, and it's LDOC when students are like at the end of the year, a long hard year, and they're just happy and they're celebrating and they're carefree, and at least for that period of time, stress is gone. To see that excitement and that joy, that's probably my favorite memories every year.
What's something on your bucket list?
I think there are two things on my bucket list. One is work related, and that is to leave Carolina better than I found it, right? And I think personally, maybe when I leave Carolina is to travel the world. I want to do a whole world round trip. Hey, I'm Dean Blackburn, Director of Student Wellness. Come see us at some point. Check us out either at studentwellness.unc.edu or come by the office down in SASB. Grab a snack, maybe some coffee or tea, and some resources. Look forward to seeing you soon.